So, good news for DC. We have news that Man of Steel 2 is actually in early development. And this comes to us courtesy of this article from The Hollywood Reporter. Now, this is good news. However, it's important to not get swept up in all of this, because they still don't have anyone leading them. So, as much as Man of Steel 2 is good news, we've got James Gunn pitching secret movies, Dwayne Johnson looking to push a new era of DC, we still don't have anyone leading it. And there's also apparently a Matt Reeves secret project as well. So it's still very much disconnected. People doing things which the left hand know but the right hand may not. And it could still give us the situation that we're in at present. So it's important not to get swept up in it, but it is still good news. So let's take a look at this, right? This is a big article that the Hollywood Reporter released. And they're essentially sort of continuing on what Dwayne, Johnson, The Rock, has come out and said anyway. Was that it was actually his pushing to get Henry Cavill back in the suit, which I guess is now leading to Man of Steel 2. And you know what? It's never been a great secret that people wanted a Man of Steel 2. They want Henry Cavill in the suit. He's a good Superman. So it always seemed dumb that they never did it. But anyway, with the release of Dwayne Johnson's Black Adam this Friday, and really Friday, wow, God, I didn't realise it was so soon. And DC Films head Walter Hamada quietly ending his tenure in the coming days, DC is charting into truly unknown territory, and that being the fact that they have no one. In fact, without a permanent leader to guide the stable of some of the biggest and best known pop culture characters in the world, DC is seeing a secret but dramatic land grab amongst some of the biggest players in Hollywood. Now, this is the thing, a Hollywood Reporter is saying it's almost like, it's like a grab for power. But I mean, it's not really. It's just people vying for opportunities to make movies that they want to make. Which, cool, we might get some good movies from it. But will we get a structured universe of DC? Probably not. So Johnson is publicly touting his vision for a future Black Adam vs Superman movie, with his words stoking fans' desires to see Henry Cavill return as the red-caped hero. Matt Reeves is plotting an expansion of the Batman universe, and then the worst of this news is J.J. Abrams is still in the mix with his own plans. No one wants J.J. Abrams on any DC films. I don't think anyone really wants J.J. Abrams involved in any movies in Hollywood at all. Not audiences, anyway. So the Hollywood Reporter can exclusively report that James Gunn, we will know him, Guardians of the Galaxies, Suicide Squad, Peacemaker, is angling for his own DC project or two. So sources tell the Hollywood Reporter that Gunn and producer Peter Safran are in talks with Warner's for a mysterious movie. Possibly more. And this is obviously Gunn will be tackling it. And Safran's been involved in Shazam, Aquaman, so he's already a DC producer. Warner's had no comment, but as one insider observes, a carving of the DC Comics company's intellectual assets is happening. DC is definitely in play. Not a stretch, we knew this was going to happen. How much in play may depend on your perspective from inside or outside the studio. Now, it's not clear what hero or teams Gunn is targeting, and the writer-director would focus on a second season of Peacemaker first, so it's not going to happen anytime soon. The studio's eyes are very much on Superman, so this is the interesting part. Under Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav and Warner Brothers Pictures heads Michael DeLuca and Pam Abdi, Warner's has an intense desire to reprise the Cavill iteration of the hero. The project would essentially be Man of Steel 2, so they've already got a producer. It's being produced by Charles Roven and is currently in search for writers. So they're already ready to go. They are already ready to go looking for people. Now, they actually want Christopher McQuarrie as a writer. Now, that's the individual behind Mission Impossible movies. So that's interesting. McQuarrie worked with Cavill on 2018 installment Fallout, but sources say no official outreach has been made or may it be feasible as the director is working on the next back-to-back Impossible installments? So, interesting. Christopher McQuarrie on board to direct, potentially write a Man of Steel 2. I'd be down for that. I think that would be quite good. But they're really ahead on that. The fact that they've already got a producer attached, I mean, it's early development, but it sounds like they are fast-tracking it. So Johnson, however, has Superman plans of his own and has been very vocal about his desire to make a Black Adam vs Superman movie. A desire he's only reiterated more frequently in the lead up to Black Adam, and this comes as he talks up his surprise cameo at the end of Black Adam. Now, I do think that's a shame that they have revealed that. I think that is genuinely, I'll cop some flack for this, but I think that's desperation. Why would you reveal that cameo at the end of the movie before the movie's released? I think that's desperation, them trying to make sure people come to watch it because they want to see Henry Cavill back. I think that's just what it says to me, and I think that's a shame. Yeah. So, yeah, the actor all but stated Cavill will appear. Insiders are wondering if those calls are intended to goose the movie's opening weekend box office numbers or to maneuver Superman onto his own chess square, or perhaps both. I'd say both, to be fair. Whatever the case, Johnson is definitely at the centre of Cavill's return to DC, which is not without some drama of its own. Johnson's manager is Danny Garcia, and his former wife, who is also his producing partner at $7 Entertainment, Garcia, also happens to represent Cavill. So they've obviously worked together and trying to get them on board. So Superman, as well as Cavill, were not in the initial plans for Black Adam. This is a recent development. The idea was hatched during a round of reshoots for the movie earlier this year, but the cameo was nixed by Hamada, the executive who for the last 4 years had tried hard to move DC beyond the era where one filmmaker, in this case Zack Snyder, had an inordinate amount of influence and could command an entire slate for years. Hamada had his own Superman plans, one of them involving introducing a black Superman with a multi-decade spanning story by writer Ta-Nehisi Coates, notorious racist. So that was a terrible decision. Anyway, so Hamada's obviously gone, but he said no to Johnson. And then Johnson was like, well, I'm going to go to DeLuca and Abdi. So screw yourself. Who then gave it the thumbs up. And then obviously loads of negotiating had to occur. And then they shot the scene mid-September, apparently. Which is crazy. So, proper recent development. Now, that's the news about Man of Steel. And their sort of push for there. But here's the interesting thing about... And this is what I mean by it just kind of being all over the place. So, good news and bad news, right? So... Matt Reeves, right? Matt Reeves quietly making his own expansion plans. Reeves is developing a sequel to his The Batman, which grossed a respectable $770.8 million worldwide when it was released in March. Already a series spin-off focusing on Colin Farrell's Penguin is on its way. They've also revealed that will literally pick up pretty much straight after the movie. Penguin is in Falcone's office with water on his feet and stuff like that. So pretty soon after that film. And that's going to begin filming next year. But Reeves is plotting more. So the filmmaker is meeting with writers and directors to build out movies. Multiple movies focused on Batman's rogues gallery. Both established and more obscure, with characters ranging from the Scarecrow to Clayface to Professor Pig. All those projects are in the very early stages of gestation. I quite like the sound of that. This nonsense, Man of Steel, Abrams, now, who knows what's going to happen with him. Who knows? I don't want Ta-Nehisi Coates involved. I know he's ridiculous. J.J. Abrams is a joke as well. But that's about it, really. There's not an awful lot else out there, to be fair. There's not a load of other information here, in all honesty. But it is interesting, nonetheless. Johnson really does big himself up, though. So he says this: the best position that I could be for DC is one as an advisor, where I can help. I love DC, it's in my blood, Johnson told Variety on the Black Adam carpet. In the spirit of growing up with DC Universe, I'm here to help in any way I can, including looking for and finding the right leader or leaders. He does big himself up. But like I said, is it good news or not? Who knows? One insider obviously said, right now it's the wild, wild west. Everyone is trying to grab as much as they can, and this is exactly what happens in a leadership vacuum. which is true. We have no leader for DC. Yes, there are some good things in the pipeline, but also with no one to steer that ship, will it be this sort of disconnected pile of nonsense? Yeah, it could be. So there you have it, ladies and gents. Let me know your thoughts down below. Love to hear it. Take care.